OpenAI dropped plugins for Codex, one-click connections to apps like Notion, GitHub, Slack, and more. Let's learn about plugins in this video. Hey, I'm Paul Solt, and if you want to stay up to date on Codex, subscribe for more videos on app development and Codex workflows. In this video, we're going to discuss all of the new plugins that were dropped from OpenAI for the Codex apps. So what are plugins? What's inside of a plugin? The plugin ecosystem that we have available, and how to install these plugins. And lastly, we're going to take a plugin for a test drive using the Build iOS Apps plugin. All right, so what are plugins? Plugins are something that allow you to install a reusable workflow or skill or app integration. And this happens at the Codex level. This allows you to use them across different tasks and projects. And this is something that allows you to share common things between different team members or even just popular apps and services. Plugins are composed of three components. There are your skills, your apps, and then your MCP servers. So this allows you to have reusable workflows in the form of a skill. Now, a skill can just be a text prompt, or it can have additional scripts. Like my app creator skill actually has a bunch of build scripts that help you make iOS apps. Then there are the apps themselves. So these could be third-party connections to services like Linear or GitHub. And then you've got the MCP server. This allows you to integrate with things like the Xcode build MCP, which is really useful for doing a variety of tasks interacting with the Xcode app and all of the build related things when you're building apps. So the plugin ecosystem, we've got a bunch of different plugins that are available out of the gate. You've got Slack, Notion, Gmail, Google Drive, there's Box, Figma, Linear, GitHub, Canva, and all kinds of things. So this is just the starting point. You can create your own plugins, and that can wrap up other skills. And we also have some different plugins that are designed just for workflows, like the Build iOS apps or the Build macOS apps are two examples. And those are some plugins that Thomas has helped now that he has officially joined OpenAI. All right. So in terms of installing the plugins, plugins can be installed from a directory or built locally using a manifest and optional skills. So you can open up the plugin directory in the app. That's the /plugins command should list all of the plugins that are available in the CLI. And I believe it is the same in the app. And then you can just go ahead and press enter and install it, or you can hit the install button, authenticate if it needs to, and then you're done and you can use it. When you use a plugin, you're going to use the @ symbol. There is an official Build iOS Apps plugin, and this sets up some scaffolding. It gives some advice for the agents to use when iterating on native apps. We're going to try it out. I think this is going to work pretty well. I still am partial to my app creator skill, so I'm probably going to create my own variant of this that leverages that, because I work with makefiles and I have all of this build tooling that really helps with app development. So let's give it a test drive. Let's jump on over to the Codex app where we'll play with this. So let's dive into the Codex app. I've got it open here, and right after you update it, you'll see that there's a little thing. It says use plugins to connect Codex to Slack, GitHub, Notion, and more. So let's just close that and let's just click right here. And here we see our whole list of plugins. We can see that I've got a couple plugins that look like they're set up. I previously authenticated with Gmail and GitHub. I haven't really tried using them a whole lot, so like this is brand new to me. And then down here we've got the Build iOS apps. We've got Test Android apps. We don't seem to have a Build Android apps, so that might be a little minor oversight, or unless this can do some similar things. Okay, so this is the skill, and so you can see what it includes. It's got a skill here, skills here. So these are 5 different skills. We've got the iOS debugger. This is going to use the Xcode build MCP, and I think it would have to install that. I don't currently have that installed on my system right now. I disabled it, so we'll have to see if that will enable it for me. And it would be nice if there was version numbers. Like that's one thing that I would like to see. So let's add this. Developed by OpenAI. Are there version numbers? There's no version number. Okay. I'm trying to put version numbers in my skills just so I can keep track of them because I've got build scripts in my skills that are changing every time I'm working on them. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can build something. So I've got it. So let's try in chat. And now let's see. I don't know if this is going to work. But we're in my teleprompter app. Let's switch branches real quick. Okay, what can we do here? Can we do a new work tree? I've never tried this. Because I don't want to put this stuff here, and I need to switch this to... No, I don't want that one. We want the teleprompter. So let's go here. What I want is port the, and I'm going to use the voice chat to dictate. Can you port the Markdown presenter to iPhone? I want to be able to run the slideshows on an iPhone device and be able to edit them on the fly. So I need the basic editor, the slide preview, and then the like teleprompter full screen view. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just focus on the editing the content in Markdown and then being able to see what those slides would look like and then just running the slideshow. Let's see if we can port some of that. I don't know how that works. Should we spin up a separate project or can we just add it as another target? I think we should be able to add it as a target. I don't know if you have that capability, so let's see what's possible. All right, so that was me using voice chat and just talking out loud, see what's possible. I'm in my presenter app. I told it to do a different work tree. So this should be sort of an alternate workspace off of that one branch that we were just looking at, which has a bunch of the teleprompter stuff that I'm actually actively running right now. So I don't want to mess that up, which is why I did this, because I just built this and I'm running my slideshow off of Xcode. And actually, if it stops the project and resumes it, that's going to be problematic. All right, so I don't know what it's going to do here. And this is where I really like my app creator skill because I know exactly how that works. This is my first time using this and I have no idea what it is going to do. So let's hide this and just focus on what's in front of us. Yeah, so it's seeing that I have AppKit specific views that allow me to do the full screen stuff on top of things, or even a full screen overlay on top of any application. There are views that it should be able to leverage, but the layout or formatting or text sizes might be problematic for actually getting it to display. Though my teleprompter view does have some support for scaling it down, so that might actually work out in our favor here if it can figure out like what it needs to do. I have no idea where it's going with this. So it should just be able to create the iOS app target. I think I disabled that when I was creating this because I had no plans to do that. But I was just looking at App Store, and it looks like there's a lot of teleprompter apps. And so I want to see like maybe that's something that's going to be useful. Like I don't plan to necessarily use this, but maybe if I'm on the go and I want to just talk to my iPhone and read off my slides, maybe that makes sense. And in that case, I might want CloudKit sync or some other way to sync between my different devices. So that's actually really interesting. And it was something that I've never thought about before. Okay. Now, the one thing, there shouldn't be any code changes. I don't know why this is showing me code changes. There should be nothing here. Oh, it's just showing the changes branch versus main. Okay, there's a lot of changes for that. So that was just set to the wrong setting. And I don't know what it's doing right now. I think it's doing a lot of thinking. And we are on GPT 5.4 fast, and I'm on the high reasoning effort. I might speed this up a little bit just so it's a little bit faster, because I don't know how long this is going to take. Yeah, let's get our full screen so that we can actually see this. Do we have a simulator? Whoa, cool. All right, now we're talking. Let's put this over here. Now let's just put it in the front. So we've got our markdown. I can run the slideshow. We see nothing. Can I see the slides? 8 slides. It at least detects slides. Run slideshow. What's preview? Is this all stubbed? This is cool. It's not really functional right now. The selection mechanism is a little bit hard to see. Cool. Playing the slides is blank. I really like that we can actually see something. That's kind of cool. So it's just not letting me drive the slideshow. So in this, if I were to hit play, we would see it on screen. I do have a overlay mode where I can just have like a small version of this on the side. And then I've got the full screen mode where it just goes full screen. So that's the app. The iPhone app doesn't appear to actually render correctly, or the font color is wrong, or it's just totally broken. Also, we wouldn't want to see any of these controls on screen on the iPhone app. So let's see if it's able to fix stuff. I'll send it a screenshot just to be clear that like this doesn't work and then preview doesn't work. Let's go back here and just go ahead and I don't even know how to run it. How do I run it? Because it's not clear. Okay, I've got, oh, this is the other work tree. This is confusing. So I'm on a work tree right now. Okay, hold on. Got too many Xcode projects. So this is a work tree right now. There is a separate target, and we have to select an iPhone simulator. Which one's open? Let's find that one, iPhone 16 Pro. I'm gonna run this on the iPhone 16. Let's go to 17. Okay, so this is the new version that I'm just launching right now. And let's see if this one's any better. Debugger connected, run the slideshow. Ooh. Fast presenter loop. Okay. That looks like that's what was in the slides. If we go to preview, we can see the slides here. Configuration here. Official embed. All that. Okay. It doesn't have any of the generation stuff that I have configurable, but like I didn't give it any details. So I'm super happy that we were able to get this. That's a simple look at what this is able to do. It can build and run apps, and it's doing stuff. That worked. So I don't know what was the issue. Oh, the black blank slide maybe. It was probably an appearance issue. Okay, cool. I don't think this is production ready, but it's an interesting thought experiment of what is possible in my application. I'm really excited about like the possibilities here, and I hope that this look at working with not only skills, but we've got the different plugins here, so we can just choose different plugins and run them, and it just can simplify getting started with certain workflows. Now I have the app creator, which I use to scaffold Xcode projects and then manage and all kinds of build stuff so that it's generally, I think it's faster, but the plugins is just another layer. So I'm going to have to look at making a plugin that wraps up my skill along with some of these other skills to see if that makes more sense for app development. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.